Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. My name is Nick and today guys we're going to be jumping down into the world of Bitcoin, taking a look at the most recent price action and what I think is likely to happen next. Now as I get into this video, if you find it useful and informative, smash that like button. I really do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all the notifications, and in doing so you will be able to be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. And if you haven't yet joined us in Discord guys, check it out, linked in the description down below. It's a fantastic community talking crypto 24/7. It's completely free and I don't think you'll be disappointed by what you find down there, so why not go ahead and check it out. It's the first place that we go to keeps you all up to date with everything that's going on in the crypto space. Let's jump right down into the desktop though. So we're going to quickly just reflect on where we are at the moment. So some of the recent videos that we've done here. Now what I tend to do with this particular chart is put the thumbnail for the 10 a.m. video on here because this is short-term price movements, whereas the afternoons are all about the macro picture. Okay, so here we can see we had the idea about moving to $30,000. We kind of had this idea pretty much from over here, a little bit on this side, but I think it was more really on the 6th of April that we really got that target kind of anchored in a little bit. And we can see that it was a bit of a sideways trade whilst we were waiting. We then took off, hit the $30,000, and then we saw some interesting macro data yesterday. And if you missed that video, you should definitely go ahead and check it out over on the channel. There's some interesting stuff. I'll go back through that this afternoon, so do watch out for this afternoon's video. But what we'll do is here is we're going to add in another horizontal line for 10 a.m. just here. We'll add the arrow and I'll add the thumbnail later once I've actually created it. Okay, so let's jump over into the price action, right? We are going to be taking a look at Elliott Wave theory and smart money concepts, but we'll start with Elliott Wave theory. Now, Elliott Wave theory has had a breakdown here, and there's a couple of different ways of looking at it. But essentially, I think the easiest way to look at this thing is that maybe we have only just completed wave 3, and we've still got to have that wave 5 still. And this is because we had this breakdown just here. Okay, and that's not really allowed. Okay, so one of two options, but I don't like this as a wave 5 right now. I mean, it's come up into the area where you could argue that it is done and it is complete just there. However, I'm still seeing some momentum on like the 4-hour and chart. So, you know, it's one of those. It's possible that we have completed already. I just get this feeling that we've got to go up a little bit more. Okay, so I'm going to kind of say that this is actually wave 3. And this was our wave 4, meaning we've still got to go up into that wave 5. That's kind of how I feel that this is going. But just bear in mind that it can still already be done. And if we were to go down lower than this one here, I think we can argue that it is done. So 29,637. Anything lower than that, I think we can argue the 5th wave is already complete. And if we go up higher than 30,550 to the penny, because it's Binance and Binance loves to the penny, then we'll argue that, yeah, we're in that 5th wave movement. Okay, so from an Elliott Wave theory point of view, let me just tidy this up. We can, of course, argue and see that we have a 3-wave drop right here. 1, 2, and 3. We saw the volatility from the CPI data yesterday. Small push to the upside. I think the bulls got a little bit ahead of themselves because I think we saw like a 1.52% move to the upside. Yet we saw, once that happened, a move of 2.78% to the downside. And I think a lot of people were liquidated in both directions, right? So we saw a short squeeze here, and then there's no such thing, but long squeeze down here to a degree, right? We basically saw shorts getting liquidated. Then we saw all those people who were going long using this as their swing low stop loss getting liquidated there as well. Okay, so for the most part, that's kind of where that sits. So I'm still expecting a move to the upside here. Now, target-wise, we would be targeting out, yeah, if I can get it on there, there we go, between the 1.236, 1.618, so 30,769 to 31,127 approximately. That'll be of where we would kind of end up looking for that final 5th wave movement. Once complete, of course, it's always important to zoom out of this thing. I do think we are done. We are basically testing the upper area of this parallel channel, and higher highs, higher lows have a tendency to break down, as we often say. This here would basically allow us to look at this as a zigzag pattern from over here, 1, 2, and 3. And that's very similar to kind of what you see on the smart money concepts, right? You can see that there. So we can kind of see this one being complete. And then really from there, it's a breakdown. I can't see any other reason to this thing to continue going upwards for any particular reason. I can't see anything obvious to me right at this particular moment. So yeah, I would say that that's kind of done. I mean, the only other thing I guess we could check just for peace of mind would be whether or not we have another 5-wave move under the assumption of A53535. And we'd have to put this down here. Now, the only way that's possible is if we rally on up in an extended 5th wave movement towards 31,795. So for the most part, it looks like a zigzag anyway. So yeah, that's looking pretty good. Overbought on the hourly right now, so expect some volatility there. Oversold on the 4-hour, and I think the 8-hour stocks were, yeah, it's minor. They were almost moving down. But nothing too major there. Let's take a look at these smart money concepts. So as we were saying, right, we can see that the Elliott wave theory had this structure up here. This is the target that we were talking about, this range right here between 29,953 and 30,640. We've wicked up into this a fair few times now. If I go ahead and remove our yellow box area over here, in fact, actually just move it over out of the way, we can, of course, acknowledge that we have still got a weak high. Okay, so Smart Money Concepts likes the idea of a break upwards. However, I'm not confident on that until we get confirmation of that final 5th wave movement. We are finding support on the 50 EMA. Okay, so at the moment, this is an interesting thing. So if we do come down and lose this support level, then equilibrium is probably the area to be visiting next, which would happen to coincide a little bit with our 200 EMA as well. So interesting stuff there. So keeping an eye on that 50 EMA, whether or not it's going to continue to be our support line as we push on up higher, or whether or not we're going to get a complete breakdown. We've completed 5th wave movement here, and we're actually targeting out that equilibrium. Now the equilibrium would be 29,000 to 29,230 approximately. So a few things to kind of note just in there. You can see that these internal order blocks here are basically suppressing the price of Bitcoin a little bit. Basically, the bulls and the bears are really struggling here. Both are fighting against each other. This is really obvious when we start seeing these wicks up here as well. Lots of buying and selling pressure, bulls and bears fighting it out. And ultimately, you know, I'm looking at this thing and I'm thinking to myself, it's not really a good opportunity for trading right at this particular moment. I'm going to wait for that last surge upwards before kind of maybe getting a short position in. Or if we lose that 50 EMA, put a short in here with a stop loss above the swing high. So it would look something like this. So let's say I wanted to kind of get confirmation we close below our 50 EMA. I'll put my stop loss up here and I will be targeting quite a bit down actually. I'd be looking for the next kind of major level of support. It'll probably be somewhere down here. I'd want to be at least a risk reward ratio of 1.5. So we could be somewhere around there if we wanted to. Again, better entries could be had at some point, but we'll see how that kind of goes. So yeah, for now, I mean, alternatively, of course, you know, we go up into that final 5th wave movement, we hit our targets, and we short from up here, real tight stop loss on that 5th wave target movement, and to target out equilibrium. Equilibrium or even the 200 EMA would be a real good, and that gives a very good risk reward ratio. So from a trading point of view, that's kind of where my mind is at the moment. I think this is really just essentially a sideways trade. Don't want to get too involved in that. Do want to be aware that there's going to be plenty of opportunities. Now, as we take a look at this, we've got these fair value gaps, these imbalances in the order books. These have a tendency to get filled out. And this cold's really annoying me. Apologies, guys. And we can see down here, we almost filled this one, but not quite. So we've still got a fair few to kind of fill out here, and discounted range with the strong lows all the way down at the bottom there. So we've got some volatility to be expected, I think, when it comes to BTC. And the macro views are looking pretty bearish at the moment as well. So I think there's a little bit of a push to the upside on the smaller time frames, but ultimately we are looking at a bit of a move to the downside across the next few months, in my opinion. Ultimately, I think that's where Bitcoin really is kind of gravitating down towards. I'm going to leave this video right there, though, guys. If you have found it useful and informative, smash that like button. Really do appreciate that. If you're new, subscribe. If you haven't joined us in Discord, check it out. Linked in the description down below. And if you haven't yet signed up to BitGet, check it out, guys. Linked in the description below. BitGet is my go-to platform at the moment for all my spot trading and my leverage trading. I know it is the same for Chris and many of our community members as well. Linked in the description below. They've got some fantastic offers up for grabs as well, so check it out. And if you're not familiar, join us in Discord and we can have a conversation about it down there as well. Until the next one though, guys, have a fantastic day.
We are not financial advisors. None of what we have communicated verbally or in writing here should be considered as financial advice. It is not. Do your own research before investing in any digital asset or affiliate offers, and understand that investing in any crypto is risky. If you do, you need to be prepared to lose your entire investment. This video is for information and entertainment purposes only. All our videos are strictly personal opinions. Please make sure you do your own research and never take our opinions for financial guidance. There are multiple strategies, and not all strategies fit all people. Our videos are not financial advice.